The world will always test you through chaos, conflict, and endless distractions. Most people crumble, reacting to every provocation, every insult, every storm. But true strength is not found in noise. It is found in composure. To stay calm when others are losing control is to hold the real power. To remain untouchable is to rise above manipulation, fear, and anger. This audiobook will guide you through the mindset of unshakable calm, where self-mastery is not theory but practice. Here you will learn how to transform inner storms into clarity, turn tension into focus, and carry yourself with a presence that no one can shake. Welcome to Stay Calm, Stay Untouchable, the secret to being untouchable in any situation. Calm is not the absence of emotion. It is the mastery of it. In a world where people react instantly to anger, fear, and provocation, the ability to remain composed is rare. Calm is often mistaken for weakness, but it is, in truth, one of the greatest strengths. It allows you to see clearly when others are blinded, to act with precision when others act with haste. When someone provokes you, their goal is to pull you into their chaos. Anger and rash reactions give them control. But calm is resistance. It denies them that power. By staying composed, you decide when and how to respond. That choice is freedom, and freedom is strength. Calm transforms provocation into opportunity. Think of calm as armor. It doesn't stop attacks from coming, but it prevents them from piercing you. A person in rage is vulnerable, easily manipulated, and quick to make mistakes. A calm mind, however, absorbs the blow, processes it, and responds from a place of clarity. That steadiness makes you untouchable. Calm gives you vision beyond the moment. Anger narrows focus, but calm widens it. In the middle of a storm, the calm person sees not just the waves but the horizon. Decisions made in anger are often regretted, while decisions made in calmness carry wisdom. This foresight is why calm consistently wins battles. In leadership, calm is magnetic. People trust the one who doesn't panic under pressure. They follow the one who thinks clearly when others are overwhelmed. Calm leaders project confidence, not because they are free from fear, but because they do not allow fear to dictate them. Their steadiness inspires strength in others. Calm is also a shield against manipulation. Those who seek to control you often do so by stirring your emotions. If they can anger you, they can distract you. If they can scare you, they can control you. Calm refuses to be moved by such tactics. It disarms manipulation by removing the fuel it needs. In relationships, calm prevents escalation. Arguments thrive on reaction. One raised voice demands another. But when calm enters the room, the cycle breaks. Calm does not mean silence. It means speaking with intention, not impulse. It preserves respect where anger would destroy it, and it builds bridges where rage would burn them. Calm is not passive. It is active control. To remain calm when provoked is not doing nothing. It is doing the hardest thing, choosing strength over surrender. Calm requires discipline, self-awareness, and patience. It is a decision made moment by moment, battle by battle. Each choice strengthens the habit of composure. The calm person is not without emotion. They simply refuse to be ruled by it. Emotions rise and fall like waves, but calm is the anchor. It grounds you, allowing you to experience the storm without being swept away. The anchor does not stop the sea from raging, but it keeps the ship from sinking. Calm turns energy inward instead of outward. Anger wastes power by scattering it. Calm focuses it like a blade. A calm response is sharp, precise, and effective. Instead of exploding and losing control, you conserve your strength for when it matters most. Calm is efficiency in motion. In conflict, calm exposes truth. When emotions flare, exaggerations and lies spread easily. But calm listens, observes, and separates fact from distortion. The one who remains calm becomes the one who sees clearly. While others argue blindly, the calm mind uncovers what really matters and addresses it with clarity. Calm is also resilience. Life will always bring challenges, setbacks, and unexpected blows. Panic turns obstacles into disasters, but calm allows adaptation. The calm person bends where others break, adjusting course without losing direction. Their steadiness makes them unshakable, no matter how fierce the storm becomes. In negotiations, calm is leverage. The person who reacts first usually loses ground, but the calm negotiator holds silence, waits, and speaks only with purpose. Their composure unnerves opponents, creating uncertainty. Calm in negotiation is not just self-control, it is strategy, a weapon that tilts power silently. Calm heals relationships with oneself. Many people live in internal conflict, fighting their own doubts and regrets. Calm quiets the inner critic, bringing perspective where guilt once ruled. It allows forgiveness, growth, and peace of mind. The person who learns to stay calm within becomes untouchable without. Calm is contagious. Walk into a chaotic room with panic, and chaos multiplies. Walk in with calm, and order slowly returns. Others feel steadier in your presence, drawn to your balance. In this way, calm not only protects you, but elevates everyone around you. It becomes a ripple effect of stability. But calm is not natural. It must be cultivated. It grows through practice, breathing, pausing, observing before reacting. Like a muscle, it strengthens with use. The more you choose calm over chaos, the easier it becomes. Over time, calm shifts from effort to instinct until it feels like second nature. Calm thrives on perspective. Ask yourself, will this matter in an hour, a week, a year? Most provocations lose their power when weighed against time. The calm mind uses perspective as a filter, refusing to waste energy on the trivial. This clarity preserves strength for what truly matters. Calm demands humility. It requires acknowledging that not every battle deserves your energy. Not every insult deserves your response. By refusing to react to every challenge, you elevate yourself above pettiness. Humility fuels calm, and calm, in turn, reveals true strength. Calm does not deny anger. It transforms it. Anger is energy, but left uncontrolled. It burns everything. Calm channels that fire into fuel, using it to act with purpose instead of destruction. Where anger destroys, calm builds. It is not the absence of fire, but the mastery of it. Calm is timeless power. History remembers those who resisted chaos with composure, who stood still while storms raged around them. These individuals left legacies not because they avoided conflict, but because they faced it with steady strength. Their calm became their greatness, their untouchability, their legacy. Calm sharpens focus. Distractions, provocations, and noise all fade when the mind stays still. Like water that reflects perfectly when undisturbed, a calm mind sees clearly. In clarity you act with intention, striking only where necessary. Calm does not waste motion. It channels every action with purpose. Calm liberates you from the control of others. The moment you stop reacting, you take back power. People can insult, provoke, or threaten, but if you remain composed, their influence vanishes. They cannot touch what they cannot move. This is why calm is untouchable. It makes you immune to manipulation. Calm is not silence. It is voice refined. To speak calmly in the face of rage is to command respect. To act calmly when others panic is to lead. Calm does not mean shrinking back. It means stepping forward with certainty. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, through presence alone. Calm is not given, it is chosen. Each day, in every encounter, you decide whether to react or to remain steady. These choices, repeated, shape who you are. The more often you choose calm, the more untouchable you become. This is how calm grows into superpower, through discipline, through practice, through choice. Calm is strength, disguised as stillness. It cannot be shaken by noise, provocation, or fear. It is the superpower anyone can master, but few do. To stay calm is to rise above. To stay calm is to stay untouchable. And in that choice lies the greatest freedom of all. Silence is often misunderstood. Many see it as weakness, as if a lack of words means a lack of strength. But silence, when chosen with intention, is control in its purest form. It allows space for thought, for observation, and for strategy. Silence does not mean surrender. It means mastery. In heated moments, silence becomes a weapon. Arguments thrive on reaction, feeding off quick responses. But when one side refuses to fuel the fire, the flames weaken. Silent control robs conflict of energy, shifting the power to the one who can remain composed. Silence is not retreat. It is victory without noise. Control is not about domination. It is about balance. Silent control ensures you are not ruled by impulse or provocation. It gives you the space to process before acting, ensuring your decisions are deliberate, not desperate. This patience separates the untouchable from the easily swayed. The strength of silence lies in presence. When you withhold words, people listen harder. Silence creates weight, forcing others to consider what you are not saying. This absence of noise can be more commanding than endless speeches. The calm silence of one person can dominate a crowded room. In leadership, silent control inspires trust. Followers respect leaders who do not panic, who do not bark orders in fear. Instead, they follow those who stand steady, who speak only when necessary, and whose words carry precision. Silent control is authority earned, not demanded. Relationships benefit deeply from silent control. In arguments, silence can break cycles of escalation. Instead of shouting louder, you choose restraint. Instead of reacting to every provocation, you wait. This silence is not avoidance. It is the strength to preserve respect while still holding your ground. Silent control is also the guardian of dignity. Anger and chaos strip people of their composure, making them appear weak. But silence maintains image and presence. By refusing to be dragged into noise, you remain elevated above it. Dignity is preserved, and respect is gained. Observation thrives in silence. While others rush to speak, the silent one listens, gathers details, and understands the landscape fully. Silent control transforms you from participant to strategist. With knowledge comes power, and with silence comes the ability to see what others miss. Society often celebrates loudness, those who shout, argue, and demand attention. But history remembers those who wield silence with precision. Great thinkers, leaders, and visionaries all understood the power of pausing, of listening, of waiting. Silent control leaves echoes far louder than noise ever could. The obedient mind fears silence, mistaking it for emptiness, but the strong mind embraces it as a tool. Silence is not absence, it is energy withheld, waiting to be used at the right moment. Silent control is not passive. It is active mastery over when and how to respond. In negotiations, silence creates leverage. The one who speaks less holds the advantage, while the one who fills the quiet often reveals too much. Silent control pressures opponents without aggression, making them uneasy, making them reveal themselves. Silence in these moments is sharper than words. The strength of silent control also lies in its subtlety. Unlike open defiance, It avoids direct confrontation. It shifts the balance of power quietly, without spectacle. This subtlety makes it harder to resist, harder to detect, and far more enduring. Silent control lasts where loud resistance burns out. Silence builds patience. In a world addicted to speed and reaction, the ability to wait is rare. Silent control teaches that not every provocation deserves a reply. Not every problem requires immediate action. Patience is power, and silence is its practice. Silent control also protects energy. Arguments, conflicts, and noise drain the spirit, but silence conserves strength, focusing it on what truly matters. It is not laziness, it is efficiency. To remain silent is to decide your energy is too valuable to be wasted on triviality. In families, silent control teaches wisdom. A parent who reacts in anger loses authority. A parent who responds with calm silence holds influence. Children learn not from shouting, but from presence. Silent control sets an example, showing that real power is not in loudness, but in steadiness. Silent control is the antidote to provocation. Insults lose their force when they meet silence. Manipulation fails when it cannot stir reaction. Provokers thrive on chaos, but silence denies them satisfaction. By refusing to react, you reclaim control over yourself and deny control to others. The practice of silent control requires discipline. It is easy to speak, to shout, to react. It is far harder to hold back, to wait, to choose words carefully. But with discipline comes strength, and with strength comes freedom. Silent control is not natural. It is cultivated. Calm silence also sharpens authority. When you finally do speak, your words carry weight. People listen more closely. Knowing your silence means your speech is deliberate. Authority is not in the quantity of words, but in their precision. Silence gives every word gravity. Silent control thrives in uncertainty. When chaos surrounds you, silence becomes clarity. While others scramble for answers, you observe, you wait, you plan. This calm silence creates confidence, both for yourself and those around you. It shows that even in the storm, you are steady. Silent control is not repression. It does not mean burying emotions or denying truth. It means managing them, expressing them with intention rather than impulse. Silence is not suppression, it is selection. You choose when and how to reveal, ensuring your words always serve purpose. The strength of silent control is timeless. Ancient warriors, philosophers, and leaders all praised restraint over reaction. Their victories often came not from noise, but from patience, not from shouting, but from silence. To master silence is to inherit wisdom that transcends ages. Silent control builds self-respect. Every time you resist provocation, you prove to yourself that you are not ruled by impulse. This builds confidence, resilience, and pride. The more often you practice it, the stronger your belief in yourself becomes. Silent control is the foundation of inner power. Silence is not empty. It is full of strength. It is the pause that preserves clarity, the restraint that guards dignity, the control that makes you untouchable. Those who master it discover a power greater than anger, greater than fear. They discover strength that no chaos can shake. Silence is not weakness. It is control disguised as stillness. To remain calm, to withhold words, to choose restraint over reaction, is to wield a superpower. Silent control makes you untouchable, not because the world grows quieter, but because you learn to master yourself. Anger is loud, explosive, and consuming. It demands attention, feeding on reaction. Stillness, by contrast, is quiet, deliberate, and steady. While anger burns brightly and quickly, stillness endures, glowing like an eternal flame. The person who chooses stillness over anger gains not only control but clarity. Stillness does not mean inaction. It is the deliberate pause that prevents regret. Anger acts without thinking, but stillness allows space for choice. That space is power. In that pause, you decide your response instead of surrendering it to impulse. Stillness is action refined, not absence of it. Anger promises strength, but delivers weakness. It blinds judgment, creates vulnerability, and exposes the mind to manipulation. Stillness, however, strengthens resolve. It hides your position until you are ready, keeping you untouchable. Where anger reveals everything, stillness reveals nothing until the moment is right. In relationships, anger escalates, while stillness heals. An angry word can destroy trust in seconds, but a moment of calm silence can prevent years of damage. Stillness communicates restraint, respect, and thoughtfulness. By refusing to match anger with anger, you bring balance where chaos tries to reign. Stillness is the language of wisdom. Those who remain calm are often seen as stronger, more reliable, and more trustworthy. Their silence is not emptiness, it is depth. Anger shouts, but wisdom whispers, and stillness is the vessel through which wisdom speaks. In leadership, stillness commands greater respect than rage. A leader who yells may demand obedience, but a leader who stays calm earns loyalty. Stillness shows composure, clarity, and confidence. It tells others that storms may come, but the foundation will not break. Anger may control, but stillness inspires. Stillness also preserves energy. Anger consumes it in an instant, leaving exhaustion in its wake. Stillness, however, conserves strength, allowing it to be used where it matters most. Like a warrior who saves their strike for the perfect moment, the calm individual uses energy with precision, not waste. Anger narrows focus. It makes the mind obsess over insult, injury, or injustice. Stillness widens perspective, allowing you to see beyond the moment. With stillness, you can weigh consequences, understand motives, and choose wisely. This clarity ensures that your actions carry purpose instead of regret. Stillness outshines anger because it cannot be provoked. The world thrives on reaction. Politicians, manipulators, and enemies all want to trigger a response. When you refuse to react in anger, you rob them of their victory. Stillness is resistance, and resistance is strength. The discipline of stillness also protects dignity. Anger strips away composure, exposing insecurities. Stillness preserves image, showing steadiness under pressure. People remember not the one who shouted, but the one who remained composed. Stillness is remembered as strength, while anger is remembered as weakness. In families, stillness creates safety. Children who see calm in moments of conflict learn resilience. Parents who respond with stillness teach strength, while those who lash out in anger teach fear. The legacy of stillness is trust. The legacy of anger is scars. Workplaces thrive when stillness replaces anger. Angry leaders create toxic environments, silencing innovation. Calm leaders, however, invite ideas, even in chaos. Stillness in a crisis communicates confidence, giving others the courage to follow. Anger drives people away, while stillness draws them closer. Stillness also guards against regret. Anger often creates words or actions that cannot be undone. A calm pause prevents mistakes before they happen. It allows time to consider, to reflect, to choose. Stillness saves relationships, reputations, and opportunities that anger would have destroyed. Anger is reactive, but stillness is proactive. Anger waits to be triggered. Stillness prepares in advance. A calm mind anticipates conflict, knowing it will come but deciding not to be ruled by it. This foresight turns challenges into opportunities rather than disasters. Stillness is also contagious. Just as anger spreads quickly, so too does calm. In a room full of tension, one calm presence can shift the atmosphere. People feel steadier, more collected, more hopeful. Stillness radiates power silently, affecting others without force. The spiritual strength of stillness cannot be ignored. Many traditions view calmness as a higher state of being. Anger binds the spirit to the moment, but stillness connects it to something greater. It reminds us that storms pass, but clarity endures. In this way, stillness outlasts anger in every sense. Stillness does not deny emotion, it directs it. Anger is energy, but uncontrolled. It is destructive. Stillness channels that same energy into patience, focus, and resilience. Instead of burning bridges, it builds them. Instead of breaking, it fortifies. Stillness transforms anger into progress. The practice of stillness requires humility. To remain calm when insulted means letting go of ego. Anger defends pride, but stillness protects peace. By choosing stillness, you prove that self-control is more valuable than winning arguments. True strength is not proving others wrong. It is proving you cannot be shaken. Stillness also unlocks deeper listening. Anger hears only itself, but calmness allows you to hear others fully. In that listening, you find solutions, connections, and truths that anger would have drowned out. Stillness opens doors that anger slams shut. History favors the calm over the angry. Leaders who stayed composed during crisis outlasted those who ruled with rage. Movements led by calm resolve succeeded where fury alone failed. Stillness sustains momentum, while anger burns out quickly. The long game is won by those who stay still. Stillness in conflict is like water against fire. Fire flares quickly, but water endures, flowing around obstacles and wearing down stone. Anger may feel powerful, but it destroys itself. Stillness adapts, adjusts, and persists until the fire dies on its own. Stillness is clarity in disguise. When emotions overwhelm, stillness creates order. It is the quiet space where thoughts settle, where solutions emerge. Anger creates confusion. Stillness creates vision. The calm mind is not empty. It is organized, purposeful, and sharp. The discipline of stillness makes you untouchable. Insults bounce off, manipulation fails, and provocation loses power. Anger ties you to the actions of others, but stillness frees you from them. The calm individual cannot be controlled because they control themselves. Stillness outshines anger because it endures. Anger may win a moment, but stillness wins a lifetime. It is strength without noise, power without force, victory without destruction. To master stillness is to rise above anger, and in that rising you become untouchable. Chaos is everywhere, in the streets, in the workplace, in our homes, and most dangerously, in our minds. The storm of modern life never pauses, always demanding attention, always pulling at energy. Without protection, the mind becomes a battlefield. Building walls against chaos does not mean closing yourself off. It means creating boundaries strong enough to preserve peace within. A wall is not isolation, it is structure. Without walls, a house collapses under wind and rain. Likewise, without inner boundaries, the self collapses under stress, noise, and distraction. The walls we build inside are not prisons, but fortresses. They protect clarity, focus, and strength from the relentless pressure of the outside world. These walls begin with discipline. Chaos feeds on weakness. The lack of routines, the absence of priorities, the surrender to impulses. When you wake with no plan, The world makes one for you. Discipline is the brick, consistency the mortar. Together they create walls that shield the mind from disorder. One wall against chaos is silence, the constant flood of noise, conversations, notifications, arguments, clutters the mind. Choosing silence, even for a few moments, creates strength. Silence allows reflection, clarity, and renewal. It becomes a shield, protecting the inner self from being drowned by the endless voices of the world. Another wall is focus. Chaos thrives on distraction, scattering attention until nothing is completed. Focus, however, directs energy like a beam of light. By deciding what truly matters and refusing to be pulled by the trivial, you build walls that filter noise. Focus is a gatekeeper that denies chaos entry. Boundaries with people are essential walls. Some thrive on conflict, dragging others into their storms. To build walls here means refusing to be pulled into arguments, manipulation, or drama. This does not mean avoiding people. It means defining the line where your peace ends and their chaos begins. That line must remain firm. Emotional walls are just as vital. Anger, fear, and panic spread like fire. Without barriers, they consume thought and action. Building emotional walls does not mean suppressing feelings. It means managing them. You acknowledge their presence, but you decide if they cross into your decisions. These walls preserve strength. Time is another battleground where chaos attacks. Without control, hours are stolen by trivial tasks, endless scrolling, or unplanned distractions. Building walls here means protecting time as a resource. Schedules, routines, and priorities act as barriers, ensuring chaos cannot invade every moment. Time walls create freedom. The most important wall is self-awareness. Chaos enters easily when we are blind to our weaknesses. By knowing your triggers, your fears, your patterns, you strengthen the fortress. Awareness is the watchtower above the wall, scanning for threats before they strike. Without awareness, even strong walls fall to surprise attacks. Chaos often disguises itself as urgency. It convinces you that everything must be done now, that every problem is yours to solve. A wall against false urgency is perspective. Asking, "Will this matter in a year?" turns a storm into a drizzle. Perspective prevents chaos from fooling you into surrender. Building walls requires courage. Some will accuse you of being cold, distant, or difficult when you refuse to let chaos invade. But these walls are not against people, they are against disorder. To protect peace is to protect life itself. Courage builds walls even when others resist them. Not all walls are rigid. Some must bend, like reeds in the wind. Chaos often adapts, changing its form. Flexibility within walls prevents breakage. Routines may shift, priorities may evolve, but the principle remains: protect peace at all costs. Spiritual practices build invisible walls. Meditation, prayer, or reflection create inner spaces chaos cannot touch. These practices raise fortresses that are unseen but deeply felt. When storms rage outside, the spirit inside remains still. This is the highest wall, not built of stone, but of faith and calm. Technology is a constant source of chaos. Devices demand attention, flooding the mind with distractions. Digital walls must be built with discipline, turning off notifications, limiting consumption, choosing intentional use. Without these barriers, technology becomes a gate through which chaos enters freely. Chaos thrives on reaction. Every time you respond instantly, it grows stronger. A wall of pause is the solution. By waiting before speaking, deciding before acting, breathing before reacting, you create a buffer. This buffer wall weakens chaos, forcing it to slow while you remain in control. Physical spaces influence mental walls. A chaotic environment fuels a chaotic mind. Clutter, noise, and disorganization are gateways for disorder. Creating organized, calm spaces is building outer walls that reinforce inner ones. The environment becomes an ally rather than an enemy in the battle against chaos. The wall of resilience is built over time. Life will test you with losses, failures, and shocks. Each recovery strengthens the structure. Resilience means chaos may strike, but the walls stand tall. Each test becomes another layer of brick, another proof that you cannot be broken easily. Patience is another wall. Chaos thrives on hurry, pushing you to rush and stumble. Patience slows the tempo, reminding you that not every answer is immediate, not every path is straight. Patience resists the pull of panic, creating stillness where chaos demands speed. Boundaries with self are often the hardest walls to build. Chaos often comes not from others, but from within. Overthinking, self-doubt, endless worry. Building walls here means controlling your inner dialogue. Speak with discipline. Refuse toxic self-talk, and guard your thoughts as carefully as you guard your home. The wall of choice is the foundation of all others. Chaos thrives when you believe you have none. By remembering you always have the choice to step back, to say no, to remain calm, you reclaim power. This wall cannot be breached, because it is built on freedom itself. Walls must also be repaired. Cracks appear when stress breaks routines, when boundaries slip, when emotions overwhelm. Ignoring cracks invites collapse. Vigilance means noticing weakness and rebuilding quickly. Maintenance ensures walls remain strong, preventing chaos from seeping in through the smallest gaps. Chaos is endless, but so is human strength. With practice, walls become natural. Silence becomes refuge. Focus becomes habit, and boundaries become instinct. Life remains noisy, but within your fortress, clarity reigns. The stronger your walls, the more untouchable your peace becomes. Yet walls are not only defense, they are also foundations. From them, you can build higher creativity, growth, connection. By keeping chaos outside, you create space for progress inside. Walls protect, but they also enable. They make room for the self to expand, free from distraction. Building walls against chaos is not about hiding from life. It is about mastering it. Life will never grow quiet on its own. Storms will always rage. But with walls of silence, focus, patience, and discipline, you rise above the noise. You live untouchable, no matter the chaos outside. The untouchable state of mind is not born. It is built. It is the result of discipline, awareness, and the refusal to be ruled by chaos. In this state, insults bounce off, manipulations fail, and distractions lose their grip. The mind becomes a fortress, strong yet calm, untouchable, not because the world grows easier, but because the self grows stronger. To be untouchable means rising above provocation. Others may shout, accuse, or demand a reaction, but you remain steady. They expect fire, but you answer with stillness. This reversal of expectation disarms them, leaving them powerless. The untouchable mind denies control to anyone but itself. Fear often drives obedience, but the untouchable mind refuses to bow to fear. It acknowledges danger without being consumed by it. Instead of shrinking, it stands taller, knowing that fear is only as strong as the belief you give it. Untouchability begins when fear loses its voice. The untouchable state also resists anger. Anger is easy to trigger, but harder to control. Those who can be provoked are vulnerable, their decisions ruled by impulse. The untouchable mind recognizes anger, but does not surrender to it. It turns emotion into focus, converting fire into fuel. Clarity is the foundation of untouchability. A cluttered mind is easily shaken, but a clear one is impossible to sway. Clarity comes from knowing values, priorities, and truths so deeply that no storm can uproot them. With clarity, you act from principle, not pressure. The untouchable mind thrives on detachment. This does not mean indifference, but the refusal to be enslaved by outcomes. You work, you strive, you care, but you do not break when results differ from expectations. Detachment frees you from the control of success and failure alike. In conflict, the untouchable mind is the anchor. While others rage, it remains grounded. While others panic, it observes. Its silence is not emptiness, but preparation. This composure gives it authority, making it the eye of the storm where calmness outshines chaos. The untouchable state of mind cannot be bought or inherited. It must be practiced daily, built through repeated choices. Every time you resist reaction, you add another brick to the fortress. Every time you hold your ground, the walls grow higher. With time, the fortress becomes impenetrable. Resilience is its weapon. Life throws loss, betrayal, and disappointment. But the untouchable mind bends rather than breaks. It learns from failure without drowning in it, adapts without losing identity, and rises without bitterness. Resilience makes untouchability not just possible, but permanent. Discipline keeps the mind untouchable. Without it, chaos creeps in through distraction and impulse. Discipline trains the mind to focus, to delay gratification, to resist temptation. It is the silent guard at the gate, ensuring only what strengthens the self is allowed inside. The untouchable mind thrives on patience. Quick reactions serve chaos, but patience serves strength. By waiting, by observing, by refusing to be rushed, the untouchable person outlasts storms. Patience transforms weakness into timing, and timing transforms stillness into victory. Presence is another pillar. The untouchable mind refuses to be chained by the past or enslaved by the future. It lives in the now, where power is real. In presence, mistakes lose their grip, and fear of tomorrow fades. To be untouchable is to be unshaken by time itself. Silence strengthens untouchability. It refuses to feed arguments with words or ego with noise. Silence allows thought, strategy, and power to grow. When words do come, they carry weight because they are chosen, not spilled. Silence makes presence louder than anger ever could. The untouchable mind is immune to manipulation. Flattery does not sway it, nor do insults wound it. Praise is received but not clung to. Criticism is heard but not feared. By refusing to depend on the opinions of others, the untouchable mind breaks free from control. Confidence is not arrogance in this state. It is certainty. The untouchable person does not need to prove themselves because they already know their worth. This certainty makes them unshaken by rejection or approval. Confidence rooted in truth cannot be stolen. The untouchable state of mind is not cold or emotionless. It feels deeply, but refuses to be ruled by feelings. Emotions are acknowledged, honored, and then directed. They are passengers, not drivers. The untouchable person steers the vehicle, no matter how loudly emotions shout from the back seat. Focus builds untouchability. Distractions scatter energy, but focus gathers it into strength. The untouchable mind chooses carefully where attention goes, guarding it like treasure. Every distraction resisted is another wall built higher against chaos. Focus sharpens the fortress. Self-trust is essential. The untouchable person trusts their own judgment, their own strength, their own path. Doubt weakens walls, but trust strengthens them. With self-trust, you no longer need the constant reassurance of others. You stand firm because you know who you are. Gratitude also fuels untouchability. Chaos thrives on dissatisfaction, convincing people they lack what they need. Gratitude silences this voice, reminding you of abundance. A grateful mind cannot be shaken by envy or greed. It stands content, immune to the whispers of want. Perspective guards against overreaction. The untouchable mind asks, will this matter in a month, a year, a lifetime? Most storms shrink under this question. Perspective keeps the fortress strong, denying chaos the chance to disguise itself as importance. The untouchable mind is adaptable. Rigid walls can crack, but flexible ones bend and endure. Change does not break the untouchable person because they flow with it. Adaptability ensures survival not by resisting the storm, but by moving with it until it passes. Wisdom completes the fortress. Knowledge may inform, but wisdom guides. The untouchable mind learns from experience, from silence, from reflection. It grows stronger with time, shaping itself into something no force can easily sway. Wisdom is the crown of untouchability. To be untouchable is not to avoid life, but to engage it with mastery. Challenges come, but they do not shake you. Losses arrive, but they do not break you. Noise surrounds you, but it does not move you. The untouchable state of mind turns life's chaos into opportunities for strength. The untouchable mind is freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom from anger, freedom from noise. It is the choice to live by principle, not reaction. It is the fortress no enemy can breach, the calm no storm can shatter. To master it is to master yourself, and in that mastery lies power beyond measure. Patience is not waiting idly, it is strength in stillness. Many mistake it for weakness, but patience is active control, the refusal to be rushed, the discipline to move at the right moment. It transforms hesitation into strategy and delay into opportunity. Through patience, weakness becomes resilience, and calm becomes dominance. Impatience is chaos, disguised as urgency. It convinces people to react quickly, to act before thinking, to surrender clarity for speed. Yet speed without direction is wasted energy. Patience pauses, observes, and acts only when precision is possible. That pause is not wasted time. It is the foundation of wise action. In relationships, patience is preservation. Conflicts ignite when words are spoken too soon, too sharp, too thoughtless. Patience holds the tongue, allowing anger to cool. It listens before responding, ensuring truth is not drowned in heat. With patience, respect is saved, and connection is protected. Patience is the shield against provocation. When someone pushes for a reaction, impatience gives them control, but patience refuses to be baited. It waits unmoved until the provoker exhausts themselves. In that silence, power shifts. Patience disarms those who thrive on chaos, leaving them powerless. Leaders rise through patience. A leader who reacts instantly may appear decisive, but often they act in haste. A patient leader considers, listens, and chooses with wisdom. Their decisions carry weight because they are not impulsive. People trust leaders who wait, not because they are slow, but because they are sure. Patience in ambition is just as powerful. Dreams take time, and impatience kills them before they mature. The patient dreamer endures setbacks, learns from failures, and continues. They know progress is slow but steady. With patience, success is inevitable. Without it, even talent fades into nothing. Patience also magnifies strength in conflict. The one who strikes first may appear strong, but the one who waits for the right opening is stronger. History is filled with victories won by patience, where timing mattered more than force. Power is not in rushing, it is in enduring until the perfect moment arrives. In negotiations, patience is leverage. The side that waits gains advantage, while the impatient one reveals their desperation. Silence, pauses, and restraint unsettle opponents, making them concede ground. Patience is strategy in disguise, and strategy is power. The patient mind is unshaken by failure. While impatience quits after one defeat, patience tries again, adjusting, improving, enduring. Patience sees failure not as the end, but as a lesson. Each setback becomes a stepping stone, and each delay becomes preparation. Patience strengthens resilience. Life tests with storms, loss, and betrayal. Impatience crumbles under pressure, but patience bends and survives. It accepts pain without rushing to escape it, knowing endurance transforms suffering into wisdom. Patience makes scars into strength. Patience also builds mastery. Skills are not gained overnight, but through countless repetitions. The impatient abandon practice when results are slow. The patient persist, knowing mastery requires time. Every great artist, warrior, or thinker is built on patience disguised as dedication. The patient person is harder to manipulate. Chaos feeds on urgency. Act now, decide now, react now. Patience denies this, slowing the tempo until control returns. By refusing urgency, the patient reclaims choice. They do not move at another's command. They move at their own. Patience guards against regret. Words spoken in anger, choices made in haste, actions taken in panic often leave scars. Patience gives room to breathe, to consider, to choose wisely. It saves futures that impatience would destroy. It is the difference between living carefully and living carelessly. In families, patience creates harmony. Raising children, nurturing bonds, and building trust all require time. Impatience demands instant results and punishes mistakes harshly. Patience, however, allows growth, teaching through love instead of force. It builds homes where people thrive instead of fear. Patience is strength in disguise. Many believe shouting, rushing, and pushing are signs of power. But the calm one who waits, who refuses to be provoked, holds true authority. Patience is quiet, but it controls the rhythm of every situation. Patience sharpens focus. Instead of scattering energy in panic, patience gathers it. The patient mind sees clearly because it is not clouded by urgency. Clarity comes with time, and with clarity comes effective action. Impatience wastes energy. Patience directs it with precision. Patience is courage in slow motion. It takes bravery to hold still when the world demands haste. It takes strength to resist the temptation of shortcuts. Patience is not passive. It is an act of defiance, a refusal to bow to pressure. In waiting, you prove you are stronger than the storm. Patience is also a healer. Time mends wounds the impatient try to rip open. Grief, pain, and betrayal all soften under patience. By giving yourself time, you give yourself recovery. Impatience rushes healing, leaving scars unclosed. Patience lets wounds close fully, restoring strength. The patient mind embraces uncertainty. While impatience seeks control, patience accepts the unknown. It trusts that clarity will come, that time will reveal. This trust frees the spirit from fear, making patience not only strength, but also peace. Patience protects dignity. Losing temper or reacting in haste often diminishes respect. The patient person maintains composure, showing steadiness others admire. Their calm becomes their reputation, their restraint, their authority. Patience builds an image no anger can destroy. In society, patience builds progress. Revolutions driven by rage often collapse into chaos. Movements built with patience endure, growing step by step until change is permanent. Patience makes transformation possible, while impatience burns it too quickly. Patience also teaches humility. It reminds us that we are not in control of everything, that time moves beyond us. This humility grounds the self, keeping ego in check. It transforms frustration into acceptance and impatience into wisdom. Patience unlocks freedom. The impatient are chained to urgency, slaves to reaction. The patient are free to choose, free to wait, free to act only when ready. That freedom makes them untouchable, because no force can rush them into surrender. Patience becomes power because it controls time. The one who controls time controls choice, energy, and destiny. Patience is not delay, it is strategy. It is the quiet strength that outlasts storms, the discipline that outshines chaos. To master patience is to master power itself. Owning the moment is not about domination, it is about presence. Many believe control requires shouting, pushing, or forcing outcomes. In truth, the strongest presence is the calm one that stands firm without aggression. To own the moment is to radiate confidence so clearly that others feel it without being told. Force is noisy, but true authority is quiet. A person who owns the moment without force does so by being centered, composed, and deliberate. They don't fight for attention. It comes naturally, drawn by their steadiness. Presence speaks louder than pressure, and calmness carries more weight than demands. In conversations, ownership without force is listening more than speaking. It's the ability to hold silence comfortably, allowing others to reveal themselves. People often rush to fill silence with words, but the one who holds it controls the rhythm. Silence becomes influence, shaping the flow without effort. Owning the moment without force is also about energy. The frantic mind scatters energy, trying to control everything, but the calm mind focuses, choosing where to place attention and where to withdraw it. This control of energy creates a magnetic field of strength others cannot ignore. Force seeks to overpower, but presence inspires. When you remain steady in uncertainty, others look to you for guidance. They sense reliability in your calmness, trust in your quiet assurance. This is how leaders rise, not by forcing people to follow, but by making others want to. In conflict, force escalates, while calm de-escalates. Owning the moment means refusing to be pulled into rage. You don't need to win every argument with louder words. You win by holding composure. This calmness unsettles aggressors, making them lose their ground while you remain untouchable. Owning the moment also means choosing timing. Force acts immediately, often too soon, but patience waits for the right opening. The person who knows when to act and when to wait always controls the flow. Timing without force becomes strategy, and strategy becomes power. Confidence is the heart of ownership. You don't need to prove your worth if you already know it. Force demands recognition, but confidence radiates it. The untouchable person enters a room with quiet certainty, and people notice not because they shout, but because they don't need to. In relationships, ownership without force builds respect. Pushing demands breeds resistance, but calm assertion builds trust. By setting boundaries quietly, yet firmly, you teach others how to treat you. Respect born of presence lasts longer than control gained by force. Owning the moment requires awareness. The present is often lost to worry about the past or future, but the untouchable mind lives here in the now. By grounding in the moment, you gain clarity. Others miss, awareness anchors you, making you immovable even as the world spins. Stillness is often mistaken for weakness, but it is actually command. Owning the moment is standing still while others stumble in their rush. You don't need to chase control, you let it come to you. Stillness makes you the center, drawing strength from silence. Owning the moment is about restraint. Force throws everything outward. Restraint pulls power inward. By choosing not to react, not to panic, not to overreach, you conserve strength. Restraint shows mastery. It tells the world you are in charge, not your emotions. Observation is another tool of ownership. By watching carefully, you see patterns, weaknesses, and opportunities others miss. Force acts blindly, but observation prepares you. To own the moment, you must see more than others see. And that vision comes from patience. Owning the moment means detachment from outcomes. Force clings desperately to control, but calm presence accepts whatever comes. By releasing the need to control everything, you remain centered regardless of results. This detachment makes you unshakable, for your peace is not tied to winning or losing. Owning the moment without force is contagious. Others feel safer, calmer, and more confident in your presence. Your energy influences theirs, steadying them. This influence requires no commands or demands. It radiates naturally, shaping the environment simply by existing within it. Discipline makes ownership possible. Without it, chaos enters easily. The mind that practices restraint, patience, and clarity builds the strength to hold any moment. Discipline creates the foundation, ensuring that composure is not temporary but consistent. Owning the moment requires humility. Force often comes from ego, needing to prove superiority. But true presence has nothing to prove. Humility allows calm to replace arrogance, giving space for respect rather than fear. Presence lasts, ego fades. The untouchable state of ownership comes from alignment. When your values, thoughts, and actions align, you radiate authenticity. Others sense the integrity behind your calm. Authenticity is magnetic. It draws respect without effort and influence without demand. Force burns quickly, but calm endures. A moment owned through pressure fades as soon as pressure lifts. A moment owned through presence lasts, remembered long after. Enduring ownership comes from stillness, not from noise. In leadership, ownership without force creates loyalty. People may obey power, but they follow presence. They see steadiness in chaos and want to stand beside it. This loyalty cannot be forced. It must be earned by being untouchable when others are shaken. Owning the moment is also about trust. Trust in yourself, in time, in the process. Force doubts and tries to control everything. Calmness trusts that strength will be enough, that clarity will reveal the right path. Trust replaces desperation with steadiness. Owning the moment is a kind of freedom. Force enslaves you to outcomes, but presence frees you from them. You no longer need to demand, control, or push. You simply are, and in that being, others feel your authority. The lesson is simple but profound. To own the moment, you must stop chasing it. Stop forcing, stop pushing, stop demanding. Instead, stand still, be present, and let the moment come to you. Force fades, but presence remains. Owning the moment without force is the highest form of power. It is influence without pressure, authority without noise, strength without aggression. It is calm mastery, the ability to be unshaken, untouchable, and unforgettable in every situation. Dominance is often confused with noise. Many believe it is the loudest voice, the heaviest hand, or the most visible presence. But true dominance is quiet. It comes not from force, but from control. Control over self, over energy, over the moment. The quiet path to dominance does not shout. It simply stands, and others feel its power. The loud seek validation, but the quiet seek mastery. When you master yourself, you no longer need to prove your strength. You radiate it in silence. and others sense it. Dominance built this way does not rely on intimidation, but on undeniable presence. Quietness makes power sharper, not weaker. Noise fades quickly, but quiet power endures. A person who yells may win attention, but they lose respect. The one who stays calm, steady, and deliberate wins both. Respect is the foundation of dominance, and respect grows stronger when silence proves control. The quiet path to dominance begins with restraint. Those who cannot hold their tongue or temper reveal weakness. Every outburst gives away control. But the one who waits, who chooses when and how to act, shows discipline. That discipline is more powerful than rage, for it cannot be provoked. Quiet dominance thrives on observation. Instead of rushing to act, the calm leader watches, listens, and gathers insight. They notice patterns, weaknesses, and opportunities others miss. By the time they move, their actions carry precision. Observation makes their influence sharper than force ever could. In conversation, quiet dominance controls rhythm. Instead of competing for words, the calm person listens deeply. When they finally speak, others lean in. Their words carry gravity because they are rare and deliberate. Silence turns speech into power, making each sentence unforgettable. The quiet path is built on confidence, not arrogance. Confidence does not need to announce itself. It simply is. The quietly dominant person does not chase approval. They radiate self-assurance. This presence unsettles the insecure, who seek noise to mask weakness. Quietness reveals authenticity. In conflict, quiet dominance breaks escalation. When one side grows louder, expecting resistance, but meets calm, they lose momentum. The storm exhausts itself, while the quiet one stands unshaken. Dominance here is not won through attack, but through endurance. Stillness becomes superiority. Patience is essential. The quiet path to dominance does not rush to victories. It builds slowly, waiting for the right timing. The patient one allows others to overextend, to reveal their hand while they hold back. When they finally act, the move is decisive. The quietly dominant person does not compete for attention. They draw it naturally through presence. A calm posture, a steady gaze, an unhurried manner all communicate authority. People notice not because they are forced to, but because they cannot help it. Quiet presence is magnetic. Dominance through noise creates fear, but dominance through quiet creates respect. Fear fades when the threat disappears, but respect lasts. People follow the quietly dominant, not out of obligation, but because they trust them. Respect sustains what fear cannot. Quiet dominance is rooted in clarity. While chaos blinds, the noisy calm reveals truth. Clarity allows decisions that others cannot make, seeing paths hidden by distraction. This vision gives influence naturally, because people follow those who see what others miss. The quiet path also resists manipulation. Noise reacts quickly, falling into traps. Quiet restraint waits, making it harder to trick or provoke. Manipulators grow frustrated when calm denies them control. Quietness protects against being used as a pawn in someone else's game. In leadership, quiet dominance is invaluable. Shouting commands may gain obedience, but calm presence earns loyalty. Followers trust leaders who don't panic, who don't force, who stand steady even in storms. Loyalty gained this way builds unshakable influence. Quiet dominance also thrives in personal relationships. Force creates distance, but calm creates intimacy. When you respond with patience instead of anger, with listening instead of shouting, you strengthen bonds. Influence here comes not from control, but from trust. Self-control is the root of quiet dominance. If you cannot rule yourself, You cannot rule any moment. Mastering reactions, emotions, and impulses creates strength that others feel instinctively. The calm person commands not through force, but through self-mastery. The quiet path to dominance is subtle. It does not announce its arrival or demand recognition. It moves silently, shaping the environment without force. By the time others notice, its influence is already established. Quiet dominance is invisible until it is undeniable. Discipline keeps quiet dominance intact. Without discipline, silence becomes passivity. True quiet power is active. It listens, observes, chooses, and strikes at the right moment. Discipline transforms calmness into control, ensuring the silence is full of strength, not emptiness. Quiet dominance is resilient. Force can be resisted, but calmness cannot be broken. Insults fail, provocation fades, noise dies out, but the calm one remains. This resilience makes quiet power unshakable, surviving where force burns itself out. Stillness communicates confidence in a way words cannot. The one who sits steady in chaos, unflinching under pressure, owns the moment without speaking. This presence terrifies aggressors and comforts allies. Stillness is louder than shouting ever could be. Quiet dominance relies on consistency. A single calm moment is impressive, but repeated calmness builds reputation. Over time, people expect steadiness from you, and that expectation itself becomes influence. Consistency turns calmness into legacy. The quietly dominant mind does not fear silence. It embraces it as strength. While others scramble to fill space with noise, the calm one allows space to exist. That comfort unsettles opponents and empowers allies. Silence in this way becomes a throne. The quiet path to dominance is not about overpowering others. It is about mastering yourself. The more you control your reactions, your words, your timing, the more influence you gain. Power lies not in shouting louder, but in needing no noise at all. Dominance built on force fades, but dominance built on quiet presence endures. The path may be slower, less flashy, but it is stronger and longer lasting. To walk it is to become untouchable, steady, respected, and unforgettable. Provocation is a test of control. When someone seeks to trigger you, they are trying to own your reaction. To answer with rage or panic is to hand them victory. Resilience in the face of provocation means standing unshaken, refusing to surrender power. It is strength in silence, clarity in chaos. Resilience does not mean you feel nothing. It means you feel deeply, but respond wisely. Anger may rise, frustration may burn, but resilience keeps you from being ruled by it. You acknowledge the flame without letting it consume you. That choice is mastery. The resilient mind is not easily baited. Provocation thrives on reaction, but without response, it starves. When you remain calm, the provoker grows restless, exposed in their weakness. Your refusal to engage becomes your shield, and their attempt to control collapses in front of your steadiness. Resilience is built through practice. Each time you resist provocation, you strengthen your ability to endure. Like a muscle, resilience grows with repetition. Over time, what once enraged you barely touches your calm. What once broke you now bounces off your inner walls. In relationships, resilience prevents escalation. Arguments often spiral because each person reacts to the other's provocation. Resilience breaks the cycle. Instead of returning fire, you choose composure. This choice protects respect, saves trust, and strengthens bonds. Resilience is not silence. It is controlled strength. In leadership, resilience earns authority. Teams look to leaders in crisis, watching their reactions. A leader who panics loses trust. A leader who stays calm, steady, and thoughtful becomes a pillar. Provocation, whether from challenges or critics, cannot shake their influence. Resilience inspires loyalty. Provocation often disguises itself as insult. The resilient person does not collapse under harsh words. They know an insult says more about the speaker than the target. By refusing to react, they deny the provoker's attempt to transfer their weakness. This refusal is power. Resilience in the face of provocation also protects dignity. Anger strips composure, but calmness preserves image. People remember not the insult, but the way you responded. Every moment of restraint builds respect, while every outburst weakens it. Dignity thrives where resilience stands. Patience is at the heart of resilience. Provocation pushes for instant reaction, but patience slows the rhythm. By waiting, by breathing, by pausing, you resist being dragged into chaos. Patience is not passivity. It is strategy, keeping control firmly in your hands. The resilient person sees beyond the moment. Provocation is temporary, but its consequences can last. A single rash response can create lasting damage. But resilience prevents regret. By focusing on the bigger picture, you protect your future from being destroyed by a single instant. Resilience thrives on perspective. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Will this matter tomorrow? Most provocations shrink when weighed against time. Perspective reveals that many battles are illusions, not worth the strength they demand. Resilience chooses wisely where to fight. Provocation often comes from insecurity. Those who lack control try to control others. Resilience refuses to mirror their weakness. By staying steady, you expose their fragility. Instead of lowering yourself to their chaos, you rise above it, untouchable and unmoved. Resilience is not coldness. It is composure with purpose. You do not ignore emotions, but you manage them. You do not deny conflict, but you choose when to engage. This balance creates influence. People respect the one who knows when to fight and when to wait. Resilience also protects energy. Provocation drains those who constantly react, leaving them exhausted. But resilience conserves strength. By refusing to be baited, you save energy for battles that matter. This conservation turns endurance into power. In negotiations, resilience is advantage. Provocation is often used to unsettle, to push you into hasty decisions, but resilience denies them control. By staying calm, you unsettle them instead. Their tactics fail, and your patience turns silence into leverage. The resilient person trusts themselves. Provocation often feeds on self-doubt, trying to trigger insecurity. But when you know your worth, insults cannot wound you. Resilience grows from confidence, a deep belief in your own strength. This trust makes you unshakable. Resilience does not avoid conflict. It transforms it. By refusing to react immediately, you shift the nature of the battle. Instead of chaos, you bring clarity. Instead of escalation, you bring perspective. Resilience changes not only your reaction, but the entire outcome. Provocation thrives on ego. It demands that you prove yourself, defend yourself, or fight back. Resilience dissolves ego, reminding you that silence is not weakness. You do not need to prove what is already true. By letting go of ego, you become untouchable. Resilience requires humility. It accepts that you cannot control others, only yourself. This humility grounds you, removing the need to react to every challenge. The resilient mind understands that strength is not in shouting, but in standing firm. Resilience also brings peace. Provocation creates noise, but resilience maintains stillness. You do not let another's chaos invade your calm. By owning your silence, you own the moment. Peace becomes your weapon. Stillness, your dominance. Over time, resilience becomes identity. People know you cannot be provoked, that you remain steady in storms. This reputation becomes influence, making you a pillar others rely on. Your calmness becomes your legacy, stronger than any reaction could ever be. Resilience in provocation is liberation. When no one can pull you into their chaos, you are free. Free to choose, free to wait, free to act with clarity. This freedom makes you untouchable, because your mind belongs only to you. History remembers those who endured provocation with dignity. Their silence outlasted insults. Their patience outlasted storms. They proved that resilience is not just survival, but victory. To be resilient is to win battles without fighting them. Resilience in the face of provocation is mastery. It is the art of refusing to surrender control, no matter how loud the world becomes. Resilience does not shout. It does not break. It does not bow. It simply stands steady, untouchable, and powerful. To be unbothered is not to ignore life, but to command it. It means you no longer allow noise, insults, or distractions to dictate your state of mind. Inner command is the art of steering yourself regardless of external storms. It is not indifference. It is deliberate mastery over how you choose to feel and respond. People who lack inner command live like leaves in the wind, tossed by every word, every look, every opinion. The unbothered person, however, is like a mountain, steady, immovable, and unmoved by passing storms. This strength does not come from resisting life, but from commanding oneself. Being unbothered is not coldness, it is clarity. You recognize what deserves your energy and what does not. Instead of wasting strength on every provocation, you conserve it for what truly matters. Inner command is the art of choosing battles wisely and refusing to be dragged into the meaningless. Anger is often the enemy of command. When provoked, people lose control, handing power to others. The unbothered person does not surrender so easily. They acknowledge emotion, but do not let it rule them. Their calm becomes a shield, proving that mastery of self is greater than mastery of others. Restraint is the foundation of being unbothered. It is easy to react. It is harder to pause. Restraint allows time to think, to observe, to decide. This pause is not weakness. It is control in its purest form. The one who pauses commands the situation, while the reactive one is commanded by it. Unbothered people understand the economy of energy. Every reaction is an expense, and some expenses are too costly. By remaining composed, they preserve strength for growth, for creation, for real battles. Inner command transforms wasted energy into directed power. The unbothered mind is also immune to manipulation. Others may try to push buttons, to stir anger, or to provoke fear. But when buttons no longer work, manipulation fails. Inner command makes you untouchable, because no one else holds the strings to your reactions. Confidence fuels this state. The insecure person is easily shaken, but the confident one remains steady. Confidence is not arrogance. It is trust in yourself. With it, criticism cannot wound deeply, and praise cannot control you. You command yourself because you know your worth. Inner command thrives on perspective. Ask yourself, does this truly matter? Will it matter tomorrow? Most provocations dissolve when seen in the light of time. By refusing to inflate the trivial, the unbothered person keeps focus on what is real. Perspective keeps them steady. Unbothered does not mean silent forever. It means choosing the moment and the manner of your response. You do not waste words on noise. You reserve them for impact. This makes every action deliberate, and every statement powerful. Inner command is precision, not absence. Being unbothered makes you a mirror. Others reveal themselves in how they try to provoke you. Their anger, their insecurity, their chaos bounce off you and expose them instead. Your calm does not hide truth. It reflects it. And in that reflection, you remain unshaken. The art of inner command requires humility. It means letting go of the need to prove, to win every argument, to fight every insult. Humility frees you from ego, and freedom from ego makes you untouchable. You no longer need validation to know your strength. Unbothered is presence. When you are fully in the moment, distractions lose their grip. Worries about the past or future cannot disturb you because your focus is here, now. Presence commands attention without force, respect without demand. Stillness becomes dominance. In leadership, the unbothered presence inspires. Teams look to the one who does not panic, who does not lash out, who does not crumble under stress. Their calm steadies others, and their restraint earns trust. Leadership through inner command outlasts leadership through force. In relationships, being unbothered creates safety. Instead of reacting with anger or fear, you bring calmness. You show that disagreements do not break connection, and provocations do not shatter love. Inner command strengthens bonds by replacing reaction with respect. Resilience is inseparable from inner command. To be unbothered is to endure storms without breaking. Life will test with setbacks, insults, and failures. Resilience allows you to absorb the blow, stand firm, and continue. Each test survived strengthens the walls of command. Detachment is another tool. Being unbothered does not mean apathy. It means detaching from what you cannot control. You do your best, but you do not collapse when outcomes differ from desires. Detachment frees you from chains of expectation. Inner command thrives on this freedom. Patience is power in the unbothered life. Quick reactions give control away. Patience reclaims it. By waiting, by watching, by refusing to rush, you hold the reins of every situation. Patience makes your calm unbreakable, your influence undeniable. Unbothered means refusing to be pulled into every storm. Chaos surrounds, but you remain steady. This steadiness creates influence greater than force. Others look to you not because you push, but because you pull through presence. Inner command is magnetic. The art of inner command is also about consistency. A single calm moment impresses, but repeated calmness builds reputation. Over time, you become known as the one who does not bend to noise. Consistency turns calmness into identity, and identity into legacy. Unbothered is freedom. Freedom from insult, from manipulation, from pressure. When others realize they cannot shake you, they lose power over you. You no longer live as a puppet of provocation. You live as your own master, untouchable in mind and spirit. Owning yourself is the highest form of control. The world may be loud, people may be harsh, situations may be chaotic, but if you command yourself, you are unbothered. You carry your fortress wherever you go. No storm can breach it. No noise can shatter it. The unbothered person lives lighter. They do not carry grudges. They do not waste energy on petty battles. They do not let noise steal their peace. Their strength is not loud, but undeniable, not forceful, but enduring. They walk through life untouchable. Unbothered is not absence. It is art. It is the art of choosing when to respond, how to stand, and what to value. It is mastery in silence, control in calmness, power in patience. Inner command is not given. It is chosen daily, moment by moment. To be unbothered is to rule yourself. And when you rule yourself, no one else can. That is the art of inner command. Strength without noise, authority without force, peace without surrender. To master it is to live untouchable. The strength of calm is the power to choose your own response when the world demands a reaction. Each moment of composure is proof that you are no longer controlled by anger, noise, or distraction. Untouchable is not about avoiding life. It is about moving through it with clarity, balance, and inner command. This journey has shown that stillness is not emptiness, but mastery in motion. Carry this calm into your battles, into your conversations, into your life, and watch how the world bends where it once tried to break you. From this point on, your silence will not be weakness. It will be your greatest shield. Your calm will not just protect you, it will define you.